You got what you wanted and felt nothing. You hit the goal, you set a bigger one immediately, and told yourself, that's called ambition. You are always planning the next thing. The current thing never feels like enough. And somewhere along the way, you stopped enjoying anything. People around you say you're driven, impressive, going places, but inside, you're exhausted and a little bit empty. This is not a video about how to be more ambitious. This is about what ambition does to you when you don't understand what's actually driving it. And it comes down to one difference. The kind most people never think to check. First, let's talk about what ambition actually is. Because not all ambition is the same. Psychology divides it into two types. Extrinsic ambition, the drive for things outside of you, status, fame, money, approval, other people's recognition. Intrinsic ambition, the drive that comes from inside, curiosity, mastery, growing at something because it genuinely matters to you. Think of it like this. Extrinsic ambition is running toward a destination that keeps moving. Every time you reach it, it moves further away. Intrinsic ambition is running because you love to run. The destination is secondary. The running itself is the point. In 2025, researchers at Stanford, O'Reilly, and Pfeffer published a study on exactly this. They found that ambition strongly predicts career success. That part is real. But they also found something else. People driven by extrinsic ambition, status, fame, money, were significantly more likely to lie, cheat, and behave unethically to get ahead, and more chronically dissatisfied even when they succeeded. In one experiment, participants played a dice game. They had to report their results. Higher rolls meant more money. The program made it impossible to roll a 5. But extrinsically ambitious people were significantly more likely to claim they had rolled a 5 anyway. They lied for $1. Because when the goal is external, the behavior bends to reach it. Here is the part most people have never heard. Even when extrinsically ambitious people succeed, they don't feel better for long. Psychologists have a name for this, the hedonic treadmill. Simple definition, your brain adapts fast. The thing you worked years for becomes your new normal within weeks, and the satisfaction disappears. So you reach for the next thing, and the cycle repeats forever. Psychologists Brickman and Campbell first described this in 1971, later confirmed by dozens of studies. They found that people who won the lottery significant, life-changing money returned to their previous happiness level within a year. Not because life went wrong, but because the brain recalibrated. The extraordinary became ordinary, and the drive to reach the next thing returned. Think about the last big thing you achieved. How long did the satisfaction last? A day? A week? And then what happened? The mind moved forward. The goal stopped feeling like an achievement and started feeling like a baseline. And whatever came next started to feel necessary, not optional. But the treadmill is only half the story. What it cost you outside the work? That's the part nobody warns you about. Here is what extremely ambitious people often don't notice happening. They start comparing upward, always. There is always someone who has more, done more, achieved more. And the brain of an extrinsically ambitious person reads that as a threat. Not inspiration, a threat. Researchers Resta, Ellenberg, and Kruglansky found in 2023 that ambitious people facing relative deprivation, feeling behind others, were significantly more prone to extreme behavior, including self-sacrifice and risk-taking beyond reason. And here is the part that hits differently. Harvard Business Review reported that more than 50% of CEOs feel lonely. 61% say that loneliness directly affects their performance. These are people who have achieved by every external measure, who have the status, the title, the income, and more than half of them feel isolated. Why? Because extreme ambition often trades relationships for results without noticing the trade was being made. Think about it. When was the last time you chose to rest without guilt? When was the last time you were present in a conversation not mentally already at the next task. When was the last time you did something that had no productivity value at all and felt okay about it? These are not small questions. They are telling you something about what your ambition has been costing you. Here is the question most ambitious people never ask themselves. Are you running towards something or away from something? Because those two things can look identical from the outside. Both will make you work hard. Both will push you forward. But one is fueled by excitement. The other is fueled by fear. Fear of being average. Fear of being forgotten. Fear that if you stop, you will have to sit with who you actually are. And people who are ambitious out of fear can't stop. Not because they love what they're building, but because stopping means facing the silence. And in the silence, the questions come. Am I actually happy? Is this what I wanted? And those questions feel more dangerous than any difficult goal. So they keep moving, building, achieving, running. So what do? The answer is not stop being ambitious. Ambition is not the problem. The type of ambition is the problem. Researchers found that people driven by intrinsic ambition, curiosity, mastery, genuine love of the work show higher long-term well-being, lower burnout, better relationships, and importantly, they still achieve, often more sustainably than their extrinsically driven counterparts. Here's one practical thing you can do starting today. Ask yourself one question about your biggest goal right now. Would I still pursue this if no one ever found out about it? If there was no recognition, no status, no external reward, would it still matter to you? If the answer is yes, that's intrinsic ambition. If the answer requires thinking longer than 5 seconds, that's worth examining. Second, build the habit of noticing when you achieve something, even briefly, not to be grateful for the sake of it, but because your brain needs evidence that the present moment has value, not just the next one. Psychologists call this counteracting hedonic adaptation. In simple terms, if you never pause to absorb what you've built, your brain never gets the signal that it's enough, so it keeps asking for more. Third, examine the cost, not the financial cost, the relational cost. Ask honestly, what have I let go of in the pursuit of my goals? Friendships that faded, conversations that got shorter, presence that slowly disappeared. None of this means you should stop. It means you should go in with eyes open, because sustainable ambition is not about doing less. It's about knowing what you're actually choosing and choosing it on purpose. Ambition is not the enemy. The world needs people who build things, who push forward, who refuse to settle. But ambition without self-awareness is a treadmill you cannot get off. The question was never, how far can I go? The real question, the one most ambitious people are afraid to sit with, is, do I know why I'm running? If this video made you think differently about your own ambition, save it. Because this is not information you process once and forget. It's a question worth coming back to. Subscribe if you want psychology that doesn't just motivate you, but helps you understand what's actually going on inside